Welcome back to the Crown Plaza in Manchester. Lee Kendall then safely through to the semi-final, but who's he going to meet in the last four? Our last two pair of quarter-finalists are here right now. Let me introduce you to them. First off, the UK number one from Manchester, Keith Brewer. And from Birmingham, but no doubt he's representing Ireland, the world number 6, Greg Farren. And your commentator, as ever, Jim White.
And a very strong Irish contingent here, very evident in the support received by their very own Greg Farren. And this then the last of our four quarterfinals. The winner will make up the semifinals. And as Simon said, a place against Lee Kendall. Breaking off, Greg Farren.
Open table.
And coming to the table, an awful lot of local support for Keith Brewer. Keith enters this tournament undoubtedly as the pre-favorite here. And there's always a bit of pressure that goes along with that role. I'm fortunate, as always, to be joined by a very competent color man with me, the captain of the Irish team and himself a tour regular, Tony Holgate. And Tony, I'm sure that this promises to be an awful lot closer than it might look on paper.
Yeah, for me, Jim, this is definitely the tie of the round. You've got two of the best pressure players on the English game. I think it's going to go all the way, this.
Well, we've had 3 previous quarterfinals. 2 of them have been runaways, and 1 of them has gone down to a decider. It's a race to 7, best of 13 affair. But it's these early frames that set the tempo.
That's a great shot there from Keith. And I was speaking to Keith earlier, and his main thing for tonight's match, he wants to get out and win frames early. He thinks if he can get ahead or be at least level by the interval, he thinks he's got a strong chance of beating Greg. He does not want to lose frames early.
Seconds remaining.
Very unexpected miss, that one. I'm sure no one more surprised than Brewer himself.
Yellow balls to play.
It was a terrific opportunity. It's failed him. Now Greg Farren's first real chance. No better way to settle those early nerves and jitters than knocking in a few balls, getting the cue arm moving, and gaining a bit of confidence. And Tony, you and I actually talked previous to this quarterfinal here, and you were one that did not expect Craig to be doing anything in a rush.
30 seconds remaining.
Matter of fact, you said that he was probably going to test Keith, even when it was very obvious what he was going to do.
Yeah, that's right. Greg is never in any hurry to play his shots. He likes to take his time, settle himself at the table. He's a great pressure player. On the circuit, he's known as the Iceman. And I think you'll see why. But it will make Keith suffer a little bit.
Very methodical in his approach. Exhibits a lot of intense concentration. Professional pool players, as do professional snooker players, try and reach that happy medium between concentration and composure. When you can find that, then you're in the zone.
Thirty seconds remaining.
Greg's running himself into a little bit of trouble. He tried to kick that red away from the rail. And as you can see, the yellow does not go past now, and he's looking to play his safety. Leave the cue ball at the top end of the table behind the two yellows.
Keith, as I said earlier, regarded as one of the best small table players in the world, really. Has the benefit of being local, so he can be sleeping in his own bed. That certainly helps, I can tell you.
30 seconds remaining. Seconds remaining.
I just have a strong feeling, Tony, we're going to hear that timekeeper spurting out those words all night.
Yeah, I think when it comes to the tough shots, Greg likes to settle himself, not rush them.
Looked in all the way. Well, this is the biggest opportunity yet. One good positional shot from the first red to the last should see Keith Brewer home and dry.
Seconds remaining.
So the first frame of this best of 13 quarterfinal falls to the Englishman, Keith Brewer. He now leads Greg Farren of Ireland by 1 frame to 0.
Second frame, Keith Brewer to break, leading 1 frame to 0.
Well, Keith Brewer already with the first frame securely in the bank. Breaking off here in frame 2.
Foul.
It's not the order of the day. I'm going to try and keep
Open
that white
table,
in position. If you do, fluke a ball. Now an open table confronting Greg Farren. And Tony, both reds and yellows, spread nicely all over the table. Greg's having a good look here, probably to see if both yellow and black will pass.
Yeah, it's something Keith definitely did not want to do. He's just gone 1-0 up.
30 seconds remaining.
He's gone in off the break and given Greg straight away the chance to get even.
Playing red balls.
By the way that Greg was looking a minute ago, I don't think the black goes past yellow. He only has 1 shot, so he'd be looking to. He wants to move the black early. He doesn't want to leave it to the last ball. So it's not easy from here.
And as you say, Tony, if the black in fact does not pass, maybe a surprising choice of colors.
You know, I think
30
he's took
seconds
reds
remaining.
because of the yellow near the rail. That's the only thing I can think of. Because all the yellows are nicely in the open, just moving the black. But personally, I'd have took yellows.
And as you said, didn't leave it to the last red, developed the black as early as the opportunity presented itself. But now, can he still get out?
He's left himself a little bit of hard work there, Jim. He's the wrong side of the red in the middle. He's going to
30 seconds
push the
remaining.
white through. No, he's not. Obviously, the red does go past the 2 yellows. He's a little bit close to the rail. He has to get to the left-hand side of the black for it to go into the corner pocket. So this is definitely not an easy shot.
Without a doubt, the shot of the match thus far. Terrific red, that one, and just look at the position on the black. Putting it to full use. Greg Farren, just when it looked like he might have played a poor positional shot. Great recovery on the red and leveling this quarterfinal. 1 frame apiece now. Farren 1, Brewer 1. Welcome back to this, our last quarterfinal. We pick up action in frame 5 with Greg Farren at the table, already in front 3 frames to 1 and looking in a strong position to increase that lead.
30 seconds remaining.
I think Greg maybe should have gone the other way there. I thought it was an easier shot to maybe pop the red into the corner, push the red on the rail over the centre pocket.
And again, a little difficult to try and jump into Greg's mind and decipher where exactly he's going. He almost pulled a rabbit out of the hat there.
Yellow ball's in play.
What a useful putt that would have been. Tony, I'm going to bring you in here. You know Keith very well. Obviously, see an awful lot of each other at all the tour events. Is the slow play that Greg is imparting in this match disrupting Keith at all, do you feel?
I don't think so. I mean, it takes a lot to disrupt Keith. I think really in his mind he's a little bit scared of Greg. They've met a lot of times and they've always had a titanic battle. But I don't really think it'll unnerve Keith, the slow play.
In the past, when I've seen Keith play, he's played at a much quicker rhythm than he is right now. And that's when he's been most successful. I can't help but feel that Greg somehow slowed him down and bogged his play down to some degree.
I think with Keith, there's a sort of aura about him. A lot of the fellow professionals are a little bit scared of playing Keith because he's a number one. A lot of players I know, before they go out and play him, they think they've already lost.
30 seconds remaining.
With Greg, he's such a determined character. He's not frightened of playing anyone. He's played a great shot there, Greg. He's got the plant. He's now left himself angle on the last red. Just to pot it in, check it, and push the black away from the yellow. If he does make this finish, psychologically, I really don't think Keith can come back.
The slow, long walk back to your chair. Number of options for Keith Brewer now, I'm sure. Least of which is to play a snooker if he decides not to attack.
I don't think Keith has any option here. I think he's definitely got to play safe. Try and get the two shots and take it from there.
There's the line, full ball snooker. Not the easiest of hits. May have to play this off of 2 cushions.
Yeah, that's right, Jim. Looking at the table from where the cue ball is.
30 seconds
The real
remaining.
way is off the top cushion, off the side cushion, come down and try and put the red in the corner. Obviously, Greg thinks he can maybe play it with check side this way. Or he's playing a deliberate foul, maybe.
Foul. 2 visits.
I really can't see it that Greg's gained any advantage doing that. I really think he's just left the table open for Keith to clear up. I just can't understand that.
Thirty seconds remaining.
After the 30-second warning, Keith asked for the rest. I might have been telling the referee to hurry.
Second visit.
He's a little bit wild with that shot there, but the balls are still open, and Keith's got to get this finish. It's a do-or-die situation now. He's played that one there well. That one there well, Jim. He's left himself the angle to come down for the 3 yellows. Gets to the right-hand side of the yellows. 3 stuns and the black. Should be 3-2.
Good pressure ball, but still far from a formality here for Brewer. And there's a big psychological difference in him winning this frame and pulling back to 3-2. A 4-1 deficit would be a tall order.
Well, he's definitely not making this easy for himself. He's only left himself one shot, is to play the yellow into the centre pocket and come back for the black. And this is a real pressure shot, this one, with Greg's red right over the corner pocket.
Seconds remaining.
What a big shot that was. Black has to be a tremendous boost to the morale of Keith Brewer. Terrific out there. He's pulled one back. He still trails Greg Farren of Ireland by 3 frames to 2.
6th frame. Keith Brewer to break, trailing 3 frames to 2.
And what a big frame that was for Brewer, the last one. Just pulled one back. Still trails by the odd frame.
Open table.
Well, an open table. That's not the way Keith wanted to leave it. But these two players have been around. They've got a lot of experience between them. I'm sure, given the number of times that they've probably encountered each other in tournaments, certainly this has to be somewhat of a grudge match. As I said, Greg Farren
30 seconds
probably
remaining.
used to be one of the best small table players around, and that title now held by Keith Brewer. So who's to say there might not be a bit of animosity out there? To say
Flying
nothing
yellow
of the
balls.
intensity these two players are exhibiting.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of love out there. About 4 or 5 years ago, Greg was at the top with Keith. Had a lot of battles with each other in finals. And definitely no love lost between them.
Good shot, that one, to continue. Looks as though he can just squeeze through there, if that's the path he wants to take. And there's Lee Kendall, a very interested observer. He'll be playing the winner here. I wonder if he's on a scouting mission.
Well, I was talking to Lee earlier, and he said to me he definitely does not want to play Greg in the semi-final. Lee's met Greg on a number of occasions, and Greg's won every time by a landslide score. So Lee doesn't want to play Greg at all.
And if Greg Farren continues to play shots like that, he won't be. Potted the yellow and snookered himself on the remaining 3. And given the position of the Reds, you better come up with something useful here.
The frames seem to be developing some sort of pattern here, Jim. Seems to me is the first player that goes for the balls from the start is not winning the frame. Pot 4 or 5 balls, snooker yourself, other player comes in.
Foul. 2 visits.
With that foul, 2 visits to Keith.
Red balls in play.
Bounced out of his chair. I myself would be very surprised if Keith didn't go on to take this frame and square this match up at 3.
Yeah, if Keith does finish from here, it's a massive boost for his confidence. After going 3-1 down so early. He needed to be level at the interval. We said he wanted to be at least level at the interval, if not in front. I think he's going to get his wish here.
Well, he certainly has to be odds on, especially given the fact that he's got 2 visits.
30 seconds remaining.
Second visit.
Keith's not made that particularly easy for himself. As you see him lining the shot up there, he's got to pot this red, go just past the middle pocket, land in between the yellows and the black. And I think he's played it perfectly.
Fight back this from Keith Brewer, the UK #1. He's confirming that ranking. He's just taken the last 2 frames. He's leveled things up here with Greg Farren. 3 frames all in this best of 13 quarterfinal. You've missed none of the action here at the Embassy Whirlpool Championships.
7th frame, Greg Farren to break. 3 frames all.
Greg Farren as determined as ever.
Yellow ball potted.
Part A accomplished. Now he'll try and do the best he can for Part B. That's dishing up the rest. Open table. Choice of colors.
Red ball nominated.
This match standing at 3 frames each. And that man's lost the last 2.
Thirty seconds remaining.
Red ball's in play.
Although Greg's representing Ireland here, he does live just outside of Birmingham, and in fact is involved in a club there. He was telling me that all pool tables except for 1 snooker table. Guess you won't see me there.
Thirty seconds remaining.
Maybe I'll drop in and say hi one day.
Touching black ball.
Sure, Tony, but I think he's dropped out of position, so the trend continuing here. Whichever player is getting in first is not doing the job. Difficult to tell if he can get through to that open red. Certainly if his reaction is any indication, one would have to say
30
no.
seconds remaining.
Looks very tight.
Yeah, he's played a bad shot there. A couple of shots ago, played a very good shot, put the ball into the corner, screwed back, pushed Keith's yellow onto the cushion, opened up all the reds. But he seems to have been a little bit sloppy with that last shot. He doesn't seem to be able to see the ball at the top of the table. The only thing you can maybe go for is a double.
Thirty seconds remaining.
Yellow ball's in play.
I think Greg seems to have let Keith in here. He's not really left him a tough pot. If he pots this one at the bottom, leaves himself in that angle on the other yellow, he can screw into the two on the rail, bump them out, and he's got perfect. The yellows come out nicely for him here. Keith could hit the front.
Well, apart from the first frame, this best of 13 last quarter final, Mr. Brewer has never seen the front here. But as you said, he's got half a chance,
remaining.
albeit a lot of work to do yet. Well, he certainly deserved a better fate than befell him. Well, it didn't look as though that yellow passed from our commentary position. Keith proving us wrong. Now, one more good pot here, and Keith will find himself in ideal position.
But now you're going to see a different Keith Brewer to the one that played the first 6 frames. I think if he gets his nose in front now, which he's certain to do, I think Greg's going to have his work cut out.
That's the sort of effort that Keith Brewer was looking for. He started to dig deep. 3 on the spin, and it's taking him in front by the odd frame, 4-3 in this last quarterfinal. Greg Farren obviously knows that from a 3-1 advantage.
9th frame, Greg Farren to break, trailing 3 frames to 5.
Confirmation from our referee. Greg Farren now sees a 5-3 deficit. He's going to have to conjure up something pretty special to get back into this one. He's lost the last 4.
Open table.
Keith Brewer must surely be starting to feel his oats. I really can't see him losing from this point, Tony.
No, Jim, after a shaky start, seems the Keith Brewer Express is firmly back on its tracks. The Reds seem to be on here. A couple of little awkward little shots to get on balls, but if Keith starts to play like I know he can, these will be no problem to him.
Red ball's in play.
Use the whole pocket there. Well, he was eyeing up the only awkward red. But surely he can't take it on from here.
I think this will be some shot, Jim. If Keith was to pot this and get on the last red, it needs to be absolutely spot on.
I'm quite sure he can't see enough of that red to pot it. Our camera angle, what looks to be confirming what I think. Well, he tried to spin the white. That increased the degree of difficulty about 10 times.
Yellow ball's in play.
But again, no easy starters for Greg. But he's in the driver's seat with all his balls remaining. Sounds like a contradiction in terms, really, Tony, but you're always afforded the chance to play a good containing safety, if not a snooker.
30 seconds remaining.
I think Greg could have done a lot better there with that shot. It's still not easy for Keith. He definitely can't pot the ball. Don't think he can quite see it. May even be a total snooker. But to me, Jim, both players do seem edgy.
30 seconds remaining.
Definitely not playing at full steam.
Total snooker. Foul. 2 visits.
Well, he's given the foul away. The total snooker meant that he didn't have to hit a cushion after contact. Well, that doesn't matter now. 2 visits to Greg Farren.
Yeah, I think Keith was trying to be a little bit greedy there. I think he wanted to come up behind the red dead weight and snooker Greg on all the yellows. By doing that, he's dropped just short. Greg's played a good plant into the middle now, still holding 2 shots. And really, this is end of frame.
Thirty seconds remaining.
Oh, that man's won the preceding 4 frames. As easy as this might appear, there's probably a lot of room for self-doubt to creep into Greg's game right now. Really, I don't think there's anything easy. And the simple fact that the yellow wiped its feet going into the middle is what's taken him out of position there.
Second visit.
Yeah, he's used his extra shot nicely there, set himself up.
Looking very much as though the Brewer onslaught has at least been halted for the moment. But they haven't had a chance to cheer much in the last little while. And they're exercising that option right now. Their man's pulled one back, still trailing 5 frames to 4.
10th frame, Keith Brewer to break, leading 5 frames to 4.
We're back with Sky Sports coverage, and the battle wages on. 5-4 to Brewer. Best of 13.
Open table.
Ball's flying all over. Could have used a few more pockets.
Red ball's in play.
Yeah, Greg played a good shot there. Just put the red into the middle pocket, disturb the 2 reds on the rail. What he's going to do now, he should put the red over the corner pocket, move the other one out, and Greg's got a finish on then.
Thirty seconds remaining.
Yellow ball's in play.
These quarterfinals here in this Embassy World Professional Pool Championships have really provided us with everything. That exhibitions of dynamite potting, superb tactical play. Nerves cool as ice.
30 seconds remaining.
Now 2 of the game's most experienced masters displaying their wares, neither one of them wanting to give or take an inch.
2 visits.
I was in the practice room earlier, Jim, with Keith, and Keith really felt that this was the big game against Greg. He feels if he can beat Greg, get into the semi-finals, he feels he's in with a great chance of winning the title. And I think it's showing a little bit in his game. He's not playing at full speed. Seems a little edgy. He's missed a couple of finishes. Greg's got a good chance to get back in here.
Seconds remaining.
Knowing Greg well, I know the sort of determination he's got. He won't let anything rattle him. If he gets his frame back, maybe see Greg triumphing him. Definitely seems to be wearing Keith down a little bit.
Second visit.
Exercising his second visit. Just about didn't hit that one hard enough. Safely in. The Irishman pulls another one back. He's level things now at 5 frames each. So this best of 13 quarterfinal encounter now effectively reduced to a best of 3. What a match. Keith Brewer 5, Greg Farren 5. I wonder if that lucky Irish towel is going to provide everything that Greg Farren requires here.
11th frame, Greg Farren to break, 5 frames all.
Trying to spur the Irishman on. All square, 5 frames each. This is where character and steady nerves are going to play a part. Tony,
Red ball pocket.
Certainly appears as though this match, as promised, is giving us everything that you predicted.
Yellow
Yeah, I
ball's
think we're
nominated.
going to go all the way here, definitely. It's all going to come down to like a battle of steel, nerves.
Seconds remaining.
Yellow ball's in play.
Well, Greg's took the yellows there, but they seem relatively easy. Maybe one problem ball next to the red on the rail. If you get on that ball early, get the ball out of the way, opens the table up, Greg can maybe get his nose in front and put Keith under a bit of pressure.
Seconds remaining.
Greg seems to have left that a little bit short. He's fairly straight on the yellow into the top corner. He'd have liked to come a bit further and pot the yellow into the middle. But he's still got a good chance here.
Thirty seconds remaining.
That's a very good shot under pressure there from Greg. Left himself a long yellow into the corner. If he can just pot that, stop the white dead. Onto the other yellow. Could see Greg Farren leading 6-5. This will have been a really good finish from Greg if he should he get them. He has worked hard for this finish.
He's certainly carrying the momentum. Could be the first real class finish that either one of these two players has produced.
30 seconds remaining.
Well, I'm not sure why Greg wouldn't have just stunned up and played the black into the left-hand center. This has always made hard work of something that really
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
appeared quite elementary. Never mind. We now see their man 1 frame away from the semifinal. It's been a terrific performance. 3 frames on the spin. Greg Farren 6, Keith Brewer 5. Perfectly controlled. An important reply, and Keith Brewer knows it.
Just wondering, Jim, if it does go to the 1 frame decider, wonder how both players will approach the game. Wonder if we'll see them smashing the balls open, or maybe it'll go tactical, because a lot of the games have been a little bit tactical. Nobody wants to give anything away. Yeah, Keith didn't want that kiss on the yellow there when he potted the one into the middle. He's now left himself very awkward. Seems he'll have to go up to the top of the table and come back down. I think he's just sizing up there. If he can just maybe borrow a little bit of the middle pocket and pull the white back, then he can put the black in the corner, but it looks very tight to me.
30 seconds remaining.
If he's to continue on, keep his hopes alive of lifting the embassy crown, I have a feeling he's going to need this long black.
Tremendous pressure here, Jim. He's got this black really to stay in the World Championships.
Thirty seconds remaining.
Well, the pressure evident A long ways out with that attempt. Will he get another chance?
Seconds remaining.
Well, I think Greg here is going to seize the opportunity. I can't see him missing from here. Just wonder if he's going to leave the ball on the rail or try and move it.
Just had so many options. All 5 remaining reds in the open, as is the black. This is where you pull yourself together, try and put a good, sure stroke on every shot. Keep your head down and guard that no movement creeps into each stroke.
Well, I know Lee Kendall won't like watching this. He said earlier he didn't want to play, Greg, as I said. He's got a tough semi-final ahead of him, providing Greg does pot these balls.
30 seconds remaining.
It's really disappointing for Keith this, because earlier on in the first session he did throw a couple of frames away, snooking himself on the black, snooked himself his last couple of balls. I know beforehand he's been playing well, his practice has been good. He's won the last couple of professional tournaments we've had.
As Tony and as Greg continues on, just how often have we seen some early mistakes come back to haunt players?
I mean, Greg's just never given in throughout this match. He hasn't showed it when he's played a bad shot. He's just carried on and looks like he's going to come through.
This black then for the biggest upset in the tournament thus far. In it goes. Greg Farren disposing of the UK #1 and pre-tournament favorite Keith Brewer. What a result. He's got a date now against Lee Kendall. And do you think that man's happy?
Greg, congratulations. That was some battle.
Yeah, well, I've had many battles with Keith over the years, and I'm not saying how many, because I'm getting on a bit now. But they've always been close. I think we may be pretty even over the years on the battles, but they've always been mammoth battles. I always enjoy him against Keith. He's a great player, and it takes 2 good players to make a good match.
Yeah, it was a terrific match. At 5-3 down, were you fearing the worst?
No. Yeah, well, after being 3-1 up, I thought if I can nick another couple of frames and go, 5-2, something like that, I'm in with a good shout. But fair play to Keith, he come back, and what was he? He went 5-3 up, I think, wasn't it?
That's right.
So I just, said to myself, take the chances if you get them. If you don't, then you've tried your best.
Where would that rank? You have achieved an awful lot in your career, but a win like that, where would that rank? Right up near the top?
Yeah, it's one of the best wins, I suppose you could say that. Yeah, I've had a lot of enjoyable battles over the years, like I say, with a lot of the good players around the country, and I enjoy the game. I love playing the game, and it's nice to win, but when you lose, you know, if you love the game, then you say to yourself, okay, I'll go to the next one and try again.
The next one's against Lee Kendall, and you've got a good record against him.
Don't say that, Simon. He's trying to put the kibosh on me. Yeah, but after the way... Sorry about this, Nigel. After the way you demolished Nigel, I'm not going to be taking anything for granted, I can assure you.
OK, well, very well done, and congratulations on a wonderful win.
Thanks very much. Thank you.